Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another school and work lunch ideas video. This video is kindly sponsored by Mom Bento, and in today's video I'm using their new limited edition Flower Mood bento box range, which is available in 3 colours: black, matcha, which is like a mint green, and lychee, which is a baby pink, all of which have a flower print lid. These are airtight, leak-proof and dishwasher and microwave safe. So, onto the lunch ideas for the week. If you follow this as a weekly lunch plan, Monday's lunch, or just idea number 1, is a Chilli-Lime Jackfruit noodle salad. For this, I drained a can of young jackfruit and emptied it into a bowl, then pulled it apart using 2 forks. To that, I then grated in the zest of around half a lime, squeezed in the juice of half a lime, then added in 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of coconut vinegar, a small bunch of fresh chopped coriander, 1 teaspoon of garlic flakes, a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes, a pinch of cayenne pepper, then seasoned with some salt and black pepper. I turned that all through, then covered it and placed it in the fridge to marinade, and this can be made up the night before for even more flavour. I then cut up 1 red bell pepper, placed 2/3 in an airtight container and placed that in the fridge. Then I sliced up the other third into thin strips. I also then sliced up 2 spring onions into thin strips, and in a large bowl I added 1 portion of leftover cooked udon noodles. These can be prepared the night before, half of the Chilli-Lime Jackfruit, a handful of mixed salad leaves, and then the sliced spring onion and red pepper. I turned that all through in the bowl and then transferred it into one of the bento boxes. I then just sprinkled over a few sesame seeds on the top, added on some more fresh coriander and a wedge of lime. In the Mom Bento sauce cup, I made a sauce using equal amounts, which was roughly a small spoonful each of peanut butter, sesame oil, soy sauce, rice vinegar, sriracha and lime juice, and then I just mixed it all together in the sauce cup. In the small pot in the second box, I placed some coconut yogurt, then in the other section some blueberries and strawberries, and then 2 of these Love Raw hazelnut butter cups, which are amazing. They're chocolate on the outside, and then they have the most delicious nut butter centre. You guys loved the last video with the jackfruit recipe, so I thought I'd use it again but do something a little bit different, and you know how much I love jackfruit anyway. The Chilli-Lime Jackfruit is delicious. There's so much flavour. It would work with so many different things, but this noodle salad is amazing. You could use any noodles you like and add any other veggies you like. I'm also aware that not everyone loves coriander as much as I do, so if you're not a fan, you could simply swap this out for some basil. Even better if it's lemon basil or Thai basil, or even fresh mint would work with this too. It would still bring so much flavour and be really refreshing. The peanut sauce works so nicely with all of the other flavours, but you could simply just use soy sauce or sriracha on their own. That would work great too. Tuesday's lunch, or just idea number 2, is an avocado mango salad wrap. For this I placed around a half a cup of hummus in a bowl. I then cut an avocado in half, placed the half containing the stone in a reusable wrap and squeezed over some lemon juice to keep it fresh in the fridge for the next day. Then I sliced the other half into cubes and added it into the bowl with the hummus. I also cut half a mango into cubes, kept the other half in the fridge and added that to the bowl. I chopped up another third of the red pepper left over from Monday's lunch, added it to the bowl, and then sliced up 2 spring onions and added those to the bowl along with a small handful of chopped fresh coriander. I then mixed that all through really well, placed it on a seeded whole wheat wrap, and then I added on some more coriander and also some lettuce. Then I wrapped it up. I always just tuck it in tightly as I go, including the ends, and then sliced it in half. I placed the wrap halves in one of the bento boxes, then just placed some more salad in the sides. In the Mom Bento sauce cup, I put some hummus for dipping, And then in one half of the other bento box, I put some of these Eat Real hummus chips in the sour cream and chive flavour. Yes guys, I like hummus, but no, these are incredible. In the other section, I just put some apple segments. Just a little tip to stop these going brown, squeeze a little bit of lemon juice over them and it should stop that from happening. Then in the small pot, I put some of this Mr. Organic dairy-free organic coconut and hazelnut spread. This is so good for dipping fruit into or on toast, but I literally eat it by the spoonful. It is that delicious. It's like a thick chocolate pudding. The filling for this wrap is pretty incredible. I love mixing things into hummus and using it as something to kind of bring everything together. It works so well with both the avocado and the mango, but you can really play around with the ingredients in this. If you wanted, you could use red onion instead of the spring onion. You could add some cucumber in there, mix some spinach through it all. This would also be really good in a sandwich or stuffed into some pittas. The snacks are just to give you a bit of an idea, but with any kind of wrap lunch, I love a chip and dip and also fruit and dip. I'm not sure if I've ever done apple with this spread before, but the crunchy, juicy apple dunked into the chocolate spread is so delicious. And I told you I literally eat this chocolate spread by the spoonful. Wednesday's lunch, or the third idea, is a jackfruit tortilla salad. I removed the bowl containing the other half of the Chilli-Lime Jackfruit from Monday's lunch from the fridge, and to that I added a handful of mixed salad, a third of a can of drained and rinsed black beans, a third of a can of sweet corn. I then cut the other half of the avocado left over from Tuesday's lunch into cubes. The lemon juice and wrap should keep it from going brown, but it might be a little more mushy. I added half of that to the bowl. I then took a seeded whole wheat tortilla wrap, cut it in half and folded it over, then cut it in half down the middle lengthways. Then cut it from top to bottom into strips, so it looks a little something like this. I added the strips to the bowl. Then I sliced up a spring onion and added that in too. Finally, I added in a handful of fresh chopped coriander, and then I gave everything a really good mix together. Once it was all mixed through, I then transferred it to one of the bento boxes, packing it all in as tightly as I could. In the same bowl, I added the remaining avocado, another small handful of fresh coriander, the juice of half a lime, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and seasoned with salt and black pepper. Then using a whisk, I mixed it all together really well until it was nice and smooth. I placed the avocado dip in the small pot from the second bento box, and then in one side of the box I placed the other half of the mango left over from Tuesday's lunch, just cut into cubes, as well as some fresh strawberries. I then took a Trek Original Flapjack. These are one of my favourite snack bars. They're so good. I just cut it up into cubes and placed that in the other section of the box. This jackfruit tortilla salad has so many flavours and textures. It's delicious. The tortilla strips really kind of bulk it out. They do go a little bit soft, but definitely not soggy. It's no different to how a wrap is if you were to fill a tortilla with these ingredients. And the avocado dip works great with it. You could mix this into it, but as it's more of like a thick guacamole texture, I just scoop it up along with some of the salad. Again, you could add more to the salad if you wanted. Some chopped tomatoes, jalapeno, red onion, they'd all work really well. Or you could use pinto or kidney beans instead of the black beans. Thursday's lunch, or the fourth idea, is a creamy Mexican Chipotle pasta salad. I made up a Chipotle yogurt by adding 1 cup of coconut yogurt to a small bowl. You could use vegan mayonnaise instead as well. I then squeezed in the juice of half a lime, added in a small handful of chopped fresh coriander, 2 teaspoons of sriracha, 1 teaspoon of Chipotle chili flakes, half a teaspoon of onion flakes and some salt and black pepper. I then stirred it all through until it was well combined. I added a portion of pre-cooked whole wheat pasta into a bowl. This can be prepared the night before. Then added in another third of the sweet corn, another third of the rinsed drained black beans. I next chopped up the remaining third of a red pepper from the beginning of the week, added that to the bowl, and also half of a red onion, and then kept the other half in the fridge, then added that to the bowl too. I added in around 3/4 of the Chipotle yogurt. I put the remaining yogurt in the fridge for the next day, then I mixed everything in the bowl together well. I transferred the pasta salad into one of the bento boxes. Then in a small pot in the other box, I put some almond butter. I took another snack bar from Trek. This is one of their new protein nut bars in the coconut raspberry flavour. They're so tasty. I placed that in the box along with a good handful of fresh blueberries and fresh raspberries. I love the flavour that the Chipotle gives to this creamy pasta salad. It's smoky and a little bit spicy. You can add in less sriracha if this might be too spicy for you, but the sweet corn and the red pepper make it really fresh and give it a bit of a crunch too. Obviously, you can make this with any pasta you like. You could also add in some avocado, some cucumber, tomato, anything you want. It's a really versatile pasta salad and you could make it in so many different ways. Friday's lunch, or the final idea, is an avocado quesadilla. For this, I mashed an avocado in its shell, then placed it in a bowl. I then added in the other half of the red onion from Thursday's lunch, which I chopped up. I added in the remaining third of a can of sweet corn and also a third of a can of black beans left over from the rest of the week. I squeezed in the juice of half a lime, added in a bunch of chopped fresh coriander, half a teaspoon of onion flakes, a quarter of a teaspoon of chili flakes, and then seasoned with some salt and black pepper. I gave it all a really good mix together so that all of the other ingredients were mashed through the avocado. Over in a flat pan, I just toasted a seeded whole wheat wrap both sides until it was slightly crispy. I then placed that on a chopping board and added the avocado quesadilla mixture to 1/2. I pressed it all down evenly using the back of a fork, then cut the wrap in half and placed the plain half on top. I then cut it in half and then half again. If any filling falls out, just use the back of the knife to push it back in and neaten it up. These 4 quesadilla wedges fit perfectly into one of the bento box containers stacked on top of each other. In the small pot in the other container, I placed the remaining Chipotle yogurt left over from Thursday's lunch for dipping. In one section of the other box, I placed some of these Eat Real lentil chips in the sea salt flavour. And then in the other section, I just cut up an orange into segments and placed some of those in there. This is such a quick and easy way to make a quesadilla, and they're so good. You can, of course, add in any extras you like vegan cheese, chopped tomato, jalapenos. Trust me, they do not go soggy as long as the wrap is toasted, but I would say because of the avocado in these, they are best kept in the fridge if you have one available to you at school or work. These also go so nicely with the Chipotle yogurt dip. It's a really lovely combination of textures, but it's also cool, refreshing and spicy all mixed together in terms of flavour. Plus, it's really good for dipping chips into. And that's it for another week of school and work lunch ideas. I hope you enjoyed this video. The recipes are written below, as is the shopping list for the week. Don't forget to check out Mom Bento. There's also a link to their site. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!